The concept of the Peloponnesian Deception invites audiences to rethink the conventional understanding of the Peloponnesian War, traditionally seen as a mere conflict between Athens and Sparta. By framing it as a deception, this notion suggests that the war was not just a simple struggle for power, but potentially part of a broader cosmic design or manipulation, deeply woven into the fabric of history and human behavior. The significance of examining the Peloponnesian War through this lens alters our perception of historical events, elevating them from battles of might to intricate narratives influenced by unseen forces or grander schemes. This perspective challenges us to consider the deeper motives and hidden strategies employed by ancient leaders and how they might echo in the corridors of power today. Two real-world applications underline this concept. First, consider how political deception has shaped modern geopolitics, as seen in Cold War strategies where misinformation and misdirection were crucial tools. Second, in the realm of business, corporate espionage and strategic misrepresentation continue to serve as potent weapons in the competitive landscape, illustrating that deception is not only historical but a contemporary tactic as well. Supporters of this idea often draw parallels between Thucydides' account of the Peloponnesian War and modern theories of game theory and strategic manipulation, suggesting that the ancients were adept practitioners of subterfuge, shaping history's course not just through conflict, but through clever machinations. This view posits that understanding these dynamics offers invaluable lessons for navigating today's complex world. However, this concept is not without its challenges and controversies. Some historians argue that attributing the war to a grand deception diminishes the tangible socio-political and economic factors that drove the conflict, risks oversimplifying the rich tapestry of historical causation, and potentially veers into conspiracy. Critics also contend that such interpretations can lead to an overly cynical view of history, implying that behind every significant event lies malevolent intent. Despite these divergent views, the concept of the Peloponnesian Deception intertwines deeply with other aspects of the war, such as diplomatic relations, military tactics, and philosophical ideologies. By shifting perspectives, it urges us to explore the underlying motives and strategies that link past events to present challenges, offering a kaleidoscopic view of history as more than just a sequence of events, but a complex interplay of design, intent, and outcome. The heading, The Peloponnesian Deception, War or Cosmic Design, introduces a concept that invites us to examine the Peloponnesian War through a dual lens. Firstly, as a strategic conflict driven by human ambition and deception, and secondly, as an event possibly influenced by larger existential or cosmic forces. In this context, the term deception could refer to the tactical intrigues and alliances that characterized the war between Athens and Sparta, marked by strategic ingenuity that dominated classical warfare. At the same time, introducing the idea of cosmic design suggests exploring whether this historical conflict was merely the unfolding of fate, or perhaps a manifestation of the divine order influencing human affairs. The significance of this concept lies in its ability to challenge conventional historical narratives. By proposing a broader interpretation of the war, this perspective probes the purpose and aftermath of the conflict, urging us to consider if it was simply an outcome of human frailties or part of a grander cosmic scheme. Addressing these ideas may provide deeper insights into understanding historical causality and the complexity of human motivations. For instance, one can reflect on the strategic use of deception in the build-up of the war, Sparta's secretive alliances, and Athens' ambitious empire expansion, which highlight human capacity for cunning and ambition. Conversely, examining this through the lens of cosmic design, one might draw parallels to other significant historical events deemed as turning points for humanity, suggesting an underlying order or destiny, such as the medieval Crusades or the fall of Constantinople. Opinions supporting this dual view might argue that the Peloponnesian War exemplifies the unpredictable interplay of human intentions and uncontrollable forces, asserting that recognizing such dynamics grants a comprehensive understanding of history. However, this notion faces challenges, such as the empirical limitations of attributing historical events to fate, which defies scientific rigor and risks unjustly absolving human agency or ethical responsibility. Connecting this point to the broader topic, the perspective of war or cosmic design asks us to rethink the philosophical and practical influences of the war. It urges us to analyze its long-term socio-political consequences, like the shift in cultural values in Greek society, which resonate even today in discussions of power, governance, and morality. Ultimately, it serves as a lens through which to assess the legacy of human conflict, its immediate realities, and its potential cosmic implications. The historical context of the Peloponnesian War involves examining the complex factors leading up to the conflict between Athens and Sparta in the late 5th century BCE. This war was a pivotal period in ancient Greek history, lasting from 431 to 404 BCE, and it fundamentally reshaped the Greek world, making it a critical backdrop for discussions about whether the war was merely a human conflict or an element of a greater cosmic design. The significance of understanding this historical context lies in its ability to provide insights into the broader themes of power, politics, and human nature versus fate or divine intervention. In this dual analysis, considering the classical account by Thucydides, we see the Peloponnesian War as a power struggle rooted in fear, honor, and interest, commonly cited in modern political theory. Alternatively, examining this war as part of cosmic design invites us to question the role of destiny and the gods in human affairs, a concept pervasive in Greek culture. Two specific examples highlight the importance of this context. First is the rise of the Athenian Empire and its aggressive imperial expansion, which fueled the tensions inevitably leading to war. The Athenian strategy revolved around naval dominance, exerting power over the Delian League, which they transformed into an empire, a move often analysed as a cautionary tale of overreach and ambition. Second is the ideological clash between Athenian democracy and Spartan oligarchy, manifesting not just as a military rivalry, but as a contest of societal models with profound implications for understanding governance and civic life. While traditional historians like Thucydides emphasize human agency in driving the war, portraying it as a meticulously chronicled consequence of strategic decisions and alliances, other viewpoints ponder the influence of destiny and divine will, echoing ancient Greek notions of fate. However, this latter view faces challenges, particularly from modern historians who prioritize tangible human motives over speculative cosmic designs. Furthermore, this historical context influences discussions on war ethics, strategy, and decision-making today, bridging antiquity with contemporary debates on international relations. The Peloponnesian War serves as both a historical lesson and a catalyst for broader philosophical inquiries about human intent, free will, and the potential existence of a predetermined cosmic order, connecting deeply to the central theme of whether the war was purely a result of human action or a manifestation of a larger universal scheme. The concept of the Peloponnesian Deception, war, or cosmic design invites us to explore the dualistic nature of historical events and whether they are mere products of human conflict or part of a broader, predestined scheme. At its core, this topic examines the Peloponnesian War, an ancient conflict between Athens and Sparta, through the lens of two contrasting ideas: that it was either a deliberate act of human machination or a part of a cosmic design beyond our comprehension. This is significant as it challenges us to think about the root causes of conflicts. If the Peloponnesian War was a result of human deception, it implies intricate political maneuvers, power struggles, and strategic alliances. Conversely, the idea that it might have been a cosmic design suggests the involvement of fate or a set of inevitable circumstances dictated by the universe, which positions the war within a philosophical and perhaps even theological framework. One real-world example that illustrates this dichotomy is the Cold War. Like the Peloponnesian War, it can be seen through the lens of deception, with both the United States and the Soviet Union engaging in espionage, misinformation, and subterfuge. Alternatively, considering it as a part of cosmic design might suggest it was an inevitable result of ideological differences, destined to unfold to shape global dynamics. Another example is the modern digital warfare era, where cyber conflicts are both a direct result of human deception through hacking and security breaches, and possibly an inevitable progression of technological advancement that pushes societies toward new forms of conflict. Supporters of the idea of cosmic design might argue using historical determinism, a view that suggests events like wars are inevitable given prior conditions. Prominent thinkers, such as Hegel, have proposed such determinism, suggesting the march of history follows a rational process. Conversely, challenges lie in proving the existence of a cosmic design. Critics might argue that assigning fate to wars undermines human agency and responsibility. There are also alternative views, such as those of existentialists, who reject predestined paths, emphasizing personal choice and accountability over fate. This concept influences other aspects of the main topic by inviting an exploration of historical causality, the roles of leaders, and the moral implications of warfare. Recognizing the duality of war as deception versus cosmic design allows us to further explore whether history is shaped primarily by the decisions of individuals or by immutable laws, thus broadening our understanding of historical dynamics.